Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katrina and I'm from Katrina's Creative Heart, and I am an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up, and I am so glad you could join me today. If you wouldn't mind, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button up here in the corner so that you know when new videos are posted. Anyway, today we're going to be doing a no-line watercoloring. Using, of course, the limited edition, all-time awesome Blended Seasons stamp set. We're going to be using this beautiful floral image that's probably been my go-to since the set has come out. And we're going to be doing with our Aqua Painters and the limited edition Watercolor Pencils Assortment 2. These are all only available through the month of August, and at August 31st this all goes away. The watercolor pencils we may see in a future publication of our catalog, but again, we've not been told that that's a definite, that we've only been told that this is a possibility. But if you want them now, now's the time to get them. So we do have for our project a sheet of balmy blue measuring 4 1/4 by 11, and this is scored and folded at the 5 1/2, and we're just going to set that aside. I also have a piece of Night of Navy. This is cut at 4 inches by 4 1/4, and then I have a piece of watercolor paper that I've cut 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay. So to stamp my image so that I can do my no line watercoloring, I am going to use a piece of Sahara sand, the stamp pad, Sahara sand. Wow, my speech is crazy today. All right, so I'm just going to bring in a scratch piece of paper here because we're going to stamp off. So we want this really light. So I'm going to bring in my stamp and I'm just going to get it inked up. And I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on my watercolor paper. And I do have the more textured side up. Okay. And I have my stamp chamois to clean my stamp. It is really stained and really ugly, but it works really, really well. You just want to rinse it out periodically. Alright, and then we're just going to close up this. Alright, so I do have my watercolor pencils, and I'm going to pull out a few colors here. And I want balmy blue, and I want granny apple green, and that's the brown. I want my crushed curry. There we go. So I'm using these 3 colors. I do have a paper towel here. I'm just going to bring you in a little bit so you can see the coloring that I'm going to be doing. Let's get that straight. Okay. Let me shut that off. Is that a little better? I think that was throwing too much glare. Okay. So you can still see my image, but it is very light. Let's tighten in. There we go. I'm going to take my Aqua Painter, and I am just going to apply a little bit of water to my image. I'm going to do my centers first. So again, just a little bit of water. And then and I do want to make sure my pen isn't too wet while I color that in. So there's my centers. So now I'm going to start doing my petals on my flower, and again I'm just going to put a little bit of water down, and I can go ahead and get this whole flower ready. Okay. So I'm going to do my petals in the balmy blue. Now I'm going to go a little bit heavier on these lines here. And then I'm going to blend the color out. And again, make sure you wipe off that excess. And pull that color down and out. And if your flower is starting to look a little too wet, you can pick up some of that. Put a little color in there. Next petal. And I'm just kind of going around and outlining a little bit, a little heavier, where I want a little more definition, and then spread the color out. Just like that. And then again, add a little more of that because it was getting a little dry. And spread it around. Alright, I'm sure you get kind of the general idea of what I'm doing with these petals. I'm just moistening them, putting a little color down, spread it around. I go back, add a little more where I need it, and then I continue on. So, and repeat. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to speed this up, play a little music for you, so that you don't have to watch me do each and every one, and then we'll do the leaves. So that finishes the flowers in our balmy blue pencil. Let's see. Watercoloring is a very forgiving medium, so you don't have to be perfect. So this is what we have, and it really looks pretty. All right, so now we're just going to do our leaves, and again, same thing. We're just going to moisten the leafy areas I'm going to be coloring. And then I'm going to bring in my Granny Apple Green. I'm going to go a little heavier here on my lines here. And then just give a nice little light. And then bring in more water to blend that out. Bring in a little more of the green. And then pretty much the same thing for these. So again, we'll go back to the music, finish up our coloring. So that completes the coloring part of our card. And again, it was just using 3 of our colored pencils from our collection here, the Assortment 2 collection to be exact. Okay, so now I'm ready to start assembling my card. So I'm going to bring back in my pieces here. I've got my snail. You might want to use a little bit stronger, maybe some liquid glue on this, because it is a heavier weight paper being textured and watercolor. It does hold the water really well. But as you can see, I didn't get a lot of warping from it because I wasn't really using a ton of water on this. So I'm just going to layer these together. Just like so. And then bring in my card base. Okay. Then I'm going to use my sentiment. I'm going to use Wishing You All the Best. There it is. And we're going to use our Night of Navy ink here. Yep. And I've got a scrap piece of cardstock that measures about 3¼ inches wide. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment onto this, and then I'll just trim it down. so I got Night of Navy. Make sure that's straight. Alright, I think I want to, how do I want that? Yeah, I think I do want to banner that end. So, gonna hit it there. Look at that. Okay, I apologize. I lost my battery and my memory all at the same time, so I had to change things out. But as I was stating, I have a 3/4 inch piece of Whisper White here that I stamped my image on the center. And now I'm just bannering the end by placing a snip in the middle here. And then I'm just coming in from the sides here. Oops. And then I will adhere this to my card. Oh, I think right about there would work. Okay, so we're just going to, just like so. Yeah, that looks good. And again, just a little bit of snail. We're going to keep this card nice and flat so it'll be easy to mail. And that finishes our card. If you would like to reproduce this card, you will find all the links in the description below, listed with all of the supplies that I used. Again, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button up here in the corner. I would really appreciate that. Again, thank you so much for watching. You can find me at www.katrinascreativeheart.com. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.